Hello everyone, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. Previously, we have gone through the first portion of the second day of court in the fourth case of the second game. And boy, do I keep finding ways to add to make that sentence longer, don't I? Anywho, our current strategy is just to lie through our teeth and stall in any way we can for Gumshoe and the police and everyone to track down the killer. Because if we can find the killer and make sure Maya's safe, then we can turn on our client here, Mr. Matt On Guard, who, there's no two ways about it, he hired an assassin to kill poor Juan Corrida. And now he's here to taunt us about it, I'm sure, because, well, when we left things off, we pretty much are about to throw Adrian Andrews under the bus, just in the name of wasting time. So let's see what he has to say, shall we? Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? Sir? Sir, there are two police officers standing right behind... Sir. But I never thought in your desperation you'd try to pin the guilt onto Adrian. Ugh, I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Oh, Mia's gone. Okay. The pearls? Where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. Maya's channeling her. Okay, apparently there isn't enough Mia to go around then. A really strong power? Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep the trial going until Maya's been rescued. Have I just run out of luck this time? Is all our hope for naught? A tent? Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent? Oh! Okay. Apparently, Mia saw through Maya's eyes, and now she's come back to report that they're at the very big circus, aren't they? Oh my god. Mia! It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now, but I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. Gumshoe, is there a circus in town right now? There's only one, pal. The very big circus. Maya's somewhere within the 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map. About a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And? I could see a mailbox under the window just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. It felt like it was an old office building. Maybe the 3rd floor or so? I heard her. An old office building? Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Okay, well, there's a ray of hope. Hello. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trail last a little longer. After all, I don't think D Killer is in touch with Matt on guard. Curious, though, that we didn't see his reaction to all that, though. Court will now reconvene. D Killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of a real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? All right. Why? Why did she... Well, I mean, she did get close with Juan, right? So she must have seen it at some point. But... wait. No, it's just a bear figurine that was a gift from a fan? It was in there with all the other bears, so it must have arrived from fans with the rest of them, right? Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. And there's room enough to store something, right? At its center is a small cavity, with just enough room to store a small item. What could that be? An item precious to Juan that we want to keep locked up and hidden, relatively hidden, in an unassuming location that... Oh, it's a suicide note. It's Celeste Impact's suicide note. It has to be. Wait, so if we open this, and if it is the suicide note, which I'm like 90% sure it is, and we read that aloud, then that would ruin Matt Onguard's public image. He'd lose. Even if he doesn't get declared guilty here, he'd lose. Okay. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes. Looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes. This is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. The bear figurine. I didn't detect anything to contradict, so let's just press all these. A puzzle. That's right. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So, what kind of puzzle is this exactly? you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time.
Hold it!
So you can take it apart. And how would one go about doing that? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Oh, this is most interesting.
The boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again.
Oh, well, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on.
I think he's lost it. So what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item.
Hold it!
And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it.
Oh. So it probably wouldn't be the suicide note.
Wait, so she bought it to put in with all the other bears? What the hell? What? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
And this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear.
Hold it!
So, who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. Okay, yeah, so Juan would never put it in the bear because Adrian would know how to get to it. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are that many people with the same bear in this country.
But this looks like it can be easily broken. Especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside.
Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken.
Okay, so it hasn't been broken before.
Therefore, according to Adrian, the only possible people that could have gotten inside were Juan and herself. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it.
Hold it!
Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container or jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew.
The two of you, huh?
Then of course that means Mr. OnGuard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Okay, so if Juan couldn't know, then he wouldn't have asked the killer to get it. Which means we can totally pin Adrian as being the client of the killer, because only Adrian would have wanted the bear, right? Only Corda and Andrews knew how to open it. There we go, okay. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you may have come to realize that there is one very important fact we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box?
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. Oh boy. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. Click. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted? Oh god, that's a slip of paper. It is the suicide note. Okay, if it is the Celeste Impact suicide note, why would Juan put it in there? Why? Oh no. Yeah, Juan's plan was to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and read that note on the stage, so of course he would have to bring it with him. And all things considered, the bear would probably be the one and only place he would feel safe enough to keep it, despite Adrian being there with, well, not with him, but there at the hotel. I see. Okay, so that would explain why he would put it in there, if there was even a chance that someone else could get at it.
Well, what is that? It looks like a note.
I don't think we need to guess at what that is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note.
A suicide note?
The suicide note left by Juan Corridor's former impacts, Celeste Impacts. Wait, did it just say Juan Corridor's former impacts? What is wrong with me? Oh, you know what I meant. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Corda himself. It seems Celeste Impacts had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Can I read the note, please?
Order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. Okay, yeah. If Juan asked her to store the suit in the guitar case, then he probably told her about this as well. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public. But that act would defend Matt. Doesn't Adrian hate Matt? But I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the note? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it, for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
The judge's voice rang loud and clear through the deathly silent courtroom. In her note, Celeste Impacts left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by On Guard. About being engaged to Corda and On Guard's role in destroying that. Yeah, so his role, it's irrefutable. His reputation's destroyed, right? And about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impacts had to say.
There is one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. On Guard.
Then what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes, night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word.
Matt Onguard values, above all else, his refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. Okay.
It's Onguard's fault that woman killed herself. And this time he even went as far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that.
How terrible! What a selfish person! I guess there's our slime bowl lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too. There is no room for doubt here. Mr. The Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with the note inside was found at the defendant's house.
It seems that we have come to the truth at last.
Hold on, let me take a look at that note. Oh, I can't read it. Damn it.
The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone.
Irk. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of these. The gavel is ready on the judge's hand. Phoenix, hurry! A suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? Okay, well, the figurine... The figurine... is interesting because... Matt wouldn't have known about it. Matt and the killer would not have known that the figurine was actually a puzzle box. Meaning, how could either of them have possibly known to take that bear from the room? And then there's the suicide note, which... The suicide note... Well... The game hasn't really told us explicitly what's written. Just vague generalizations. But at the same time... Do we have any reason to believe that it was actually written by Celeste? Do we know? The judge said something about her big ol' nice looking signature. But could someone else have written it? Okay, the figurine seems like a more advantageous route to pursue, but at the same time I feel like the game could just talk about the physical attributes of the figurine itself and not the sort of meta situation surrounding it. Suicide note of the figurine, which one of these should I pursue? They're both kind of... Celeste suicide note. The figurine. Okay, wait. Okay, what happens next? Assuming both routes go the way I expect them to, what's next? Would I be able to prove that Matt Engarde couldn't have known about it in some way or learn about it? No, I don't think so. There's no way I couldn't prove that he didn't learn about it at some point without Adrian knowing. But if I ask about the authenticity of the suicide note, there's a chance it could be about the handwriting or the signature, because we have Celeste's handwriting and signature here on this photo. Okay, I think I want to pick Celeste's suicide note because that has a step 2.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it. It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Matt Engarde killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. I failed it, didn't I? This note was hidden by Mr. Corda until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I say that Matt Engarde could not have known what was written on this note. This is the route I thought the bear would go down, damn it! Well, I mean, I like this line of questioning, so okay.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in their right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said.
Order, order, order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
It was just a flash. I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. Uh-oh. I would like to direct the court to... Oh, the camera! The camera was set up. Yeah, okay, so if Edgeworth says that Matt Engarde set up a spy camera to see where the note was hidden, then what could I do to counter that? Maybe say there's no way to prove that the bear, that Mr. Corda didn't put the note inside the bear at any point while he was staying there? Oh, but then Edgeworth could fire back by saying the murder would only go through if Matt Engarde detected the note. Well, then again, he would have to kill him to silence him, but... I would like to direct the court's attention to this.
What is that?
It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Matt Engarde and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. There was a camera in Matt Engarde's room?
And?
The victim, Juan Corda, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Matt Engarde.
Order! Order! I am Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Matt Engarde's fingerprints were on there.
Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? Surely the one VHS tape couldn't have stored all the footage. Wait. Yeah, wait, no, it would be a separate system. Where did Juan Corda keep his tapes? Get his tapes? Look at the killer talking with Meyer, whatever. What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engarde learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that.
Hey, what's the lawyer thinking?
Mommy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him.
The way he's sweating is just so...
Ew, nasty. Nix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next? Yet? What I'm going to do next? Just running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case. But, in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate.
Something he should investigate?
I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded.
Oh.
Okay, Edgeworth's entire argument right now hinges upon the authenticity of that suicide note. Yeah, we could say Adrian planted it there to further implicate Matt Engarde. After all, Adrian was the only one who knew how to open it in the first place. Well, besides Juan, but... For not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden?
Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that he is talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at? Or should I let it go? Oh, hell yeah, present it! I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
That's more like it. Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily.
You are beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. Huh? In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So, you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. The suicide note. Is it actually real?
Take that!
Oh god, was it... Okay, the music stopped.
That is Miss Inpax's suicide note, right?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear. But this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed.
Oh.
So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impact or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright,
You can't seriously be... Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Engard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you?
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There is no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. Yes, there is. Only she and Juan could have put it in the note, and both were clearly conspiring to ruin Matt Engard's reputation. After all, Adrian was complicit in getting that costume prepared.
Objection!
But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Engard. I did no such thing.
Objection!
Right. If you're going to pronounce the suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. I mean, if I could look at the note and the photo frame to compare handwriting, that'd be nice.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with... Where was this paragraph in all the previous cases? Ah! Finally. Ugh!
that's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note?
It is as the defense has stated. The handwriting has yet to be analyzed.
If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible.
That's impossible. This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate.
Handwriting analysis my butt. That's just a lawyer trying to buy more time. Engard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty, 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 guilty.
What is that sound?
It's Gumshoe. Oh, please give me good news. Hello, Gumshoe? Oh. What is with him? What's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to killer?
He got away. I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do.
Anyway, what's going on?
We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone.
This is terrible. Yep.
I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time.
But
Don't tell me we don't have any more.
guilty, 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 guilty. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head.
Mr. Wright, I can't... For us to come this far and... Oh,
What is it?
let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth.
I can't do that.
Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch!
Take that!
Wow. That was a very literal take that.
Mr. Edgeworth? Please, you've got to buy us some more time.
Court is in session. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying?
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but
I am reluctant to do this, however. It appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
this time I really can't do anything.
Court is now adjourned for the day.
Edgeworth. Come on, buddy. I know you want to. I know you will. Objection! Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth?
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time.
For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor.
But wouldn't it be better if we adjourned for the day and then reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor.
Very well.
Gasp.
At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today.
I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day.
All right. Oh boy. Right. Well, what's going on with Maya's situation? D-Killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? You can't find her in that time. Ugh. Da, 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 ba, da, da, da. Edgeworth, you interrupted the cool music, and that is the worst thing you have ever done.
Report! Is that Mr. Edgeworth?
We don't have time. Just spit it out.
Right. It looks like we just missed them, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away.
A few things. Can we use any of them as evidence?
I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now, and I'm on my way over.
Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran.
What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to.
I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. Hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this.
With my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
Alright. Just get here in one piece.
I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Oh god.
Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Did Gumshoe just get in a car crash? Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me.
No one can stop me.
What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. We have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? Evidence? Okay, I know he said no radio, but maybe we can use this to tap into police gossip, or yeah, use the radio transceiver to listen into police broadcasts and listen for where the car crash is, right? That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this.
Take that!
Right, we're not in the middle of a mock trial here. I guess this won't work, huh? I guess it's up to me. Alright, I will think of something on my end. Don't get your hopes up too high, but I'll try my best. Did I say something wrong? Edgeworth. What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. To be continued, huh? Well then.
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready?
Okay. I think this might be a bit short of an episode, just by maybe like 10 minutes, but you have to admit, this is the perfect place to end. Wow. This is down to the wire, I must say. Well, this is extremely tense. My god, dude. there's no telling what's next. I mean, I guess all we can hope for is Gumshoe to sprint the rest of the way with the evidence. He didn't sound good enough. He didn't sound well enough to sprint, though. He sounded kind of out of it. Maybe he fell unconscious, even. What can we possibly do from here? I guess all we can hope for is that the note is, in fact, a forgery, and go from there. If it isn't a forgery and if it's real, then I guess we're screwed. Oh, man. This case, this entire case, is truly amazing. I think this definitely rivals Case 4 of Game 1, you know, with Manfred von Karma. Definitely, we haven't even seen how this all plays out, but the sheer interconnectedness of it, and the strong personalities of all the characters involved, and the circumstances, just how dire it all feels, it's so good. If Case 4 of Game 1 was a jumbled puzzle that got put together piece by piece and turned into sheer hype, then this case feels like a steadily shaking volcano that is filling up with pressure, just waiting to burst. And I don't think it has burst quite yet, but it's close. It's very close. We're nearly done here. I don't think there's two ways about it. We're nearly done here, so I don't know about you, but I'm excited to see what comes next. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been Phoenix Wright, Justice for All. I thank you for watching, and hopefully I will catch you next time. Until then, please take care.